How's everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. United's up 1-0, so that's pretty good. Welcome to another episode of Soccer Betting. Sean Miller, Soccer Betting with the Genius. Soccer Betting Genius. Get this going right now. I hope you've had a good day watching everybody on the network here. Sure to follow. 6 hours of great info. Midday Money, Sean Higgs, Just Parlays with Chris King, 2-3. Morning Wood, Allie Burns. Woman, Allie Burns, 1-2. Back to the window, Scott, 3-4. It's 4 o'clock. That's me. And then 5 game time decisions with Nick and Lenny. Make sure you listen to me on Friday nights, no matter where you are in the world. Tune in radio app. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, ring that bell, so every day you'll be able to watch all the shows on Max Wagers Network. Got a pretty good thing for you here. Kentucky Derby betting guide worth $39.99 is yours free. Get the inside track to the Kentucky Derby betting guide prepared by racing dudes and winners and whiners to the most comprehensive, in-depth betting guide available on the biggest day in racing. The guide will be available before May 5th. Pre-order now to reserve your copy. All right. I'm going to show you a couple of these orders here. Caesars Sportsbook promotion, $1,100 first bet insurance. Hopefully some of you used it this weekend on these picks we gave you on Friday, because we killed it on Friday. Place a first-time wager up to $1,100. Get it back in the form of a free bet. If you lose, you must use our promo code ATS wins CZR. Links are in the show box below. All right. So it was a good week. It was a good weekend. We had our guy Kaepernick came on and gave us a pretty good Austin FC plus 200. I took that. I don't know if any of you are following the parlay or my Twitter page, but I hit about 5 different parlays this weekend. If I would have just bet Liverpool money line instead of Liverpool minus or over 1.5 goals, I would have had another 500 on the parlay. But when you're up 4 parlays, you can't really complain too much, can you? So big week that was. This is a huge week for us here. I'm gonna make sure in the 73rd minute I gotta turn around and check out and see who's gonna be walking out of this game for us. Michael Dose partying like I won the gold medal in the Olympics with Everton win over Chelsea. Yeah, look, Chelsea's a weird team right now. That was when they played Manchester United last Thursday. I thought, let me just pull these. I thought they dominated the game, to be honest, at times. They had a lot of chances, but they didn't score goals. And United, I didn't think, played very well. I know someone here said they did, but I thought they played terribly. Today, they're playing very well. And they should have 2 goals. That goal that got ruled out for offside was absolutely atrocious. He was in front. He was behind the ball. They marked it from his foot, which was crazy. Well, Everton played like a team possessed. Here's the problem sometimes, and we're going to talk about this later when we talk about this, huge, massive English championship game tomorrow on with the 2 teams in second and third place. Everton's played so poorly for so long. all year. They've been in the relegation zone. It's not for lack of trying. I think they play hard. I just don't think they've been that good. But in this game, Lampard had them flying around. They were into tackles. Chelsea just didn't care. Chelsea doesn't have anything to play for. They've got this stuff wrapped up. You look at the table. The goal. I mean, Pickford played out of his mind. Look, I still think Everton's in trouble. I also think Leeds could be in trouble right here. But, Everton right now, they're in this position because they have 19 losses. Leeds has 10 draws, too many draws. They need more wins. But, Everton's got 9 wins and a vastly superior goal difference and a game in hand. So, if they play like that, that's the problem, though. If they played like that all year, they wouldn't be here. They'd be 10th, but they don't. That's why betting is hard sometimes on these teams when the teams are playing at the bottom. Bill, we're going to get to I like Benzema to score every game. He's unbelievable. We're going to get to the Bournemouth Nottingham Forest game, and I'm going to give you some 3 or 4 different ways maybe you could bet that game. I think that game is going to be pretty interesting. I think there's going to be some goals. I think there's going to be all kinds of. I just think it's a massive, massive game, and it's a kind of game where you have to say, do I believe in the last 2 months of a team, or do I believe in a team over the course of the season, or stuff like that? I mean, Nottingham Forest started the season with, I think, 1 win in the first 7. They fired their coach and they brought this guy in who got sacked from Swansea, Cooper, and he's been unbelievable. And they've just been on fire. They've won 7 of 8 and 21 points in the last 8 matches out of 24. And they're coming on like a freight train. But Bournemouth just needs to not lose, and they're pretty much set. So it's very interesting. United driving me nuts. All right. At the stream Tuesday. First game up. UEFA Champions League semifinal, second leg. You see the odds there. I spelled Villarreal wrong, by the way. It's Villa Real. Spell check. Ugh. I hate spelling errors. Villarreal is plus 380. Liverpool minus 152. Liverpool leads 2-0 on aggregate. Liverpool played Saturday at 12:30. Had a tough game against Newcastle. A 1-1-0. Thought maybe they could maybe do something, but didn't necessarily play very well. By the way, Bill, Benzema plays. That game is Wednesday. Real Madrid and Manchester City. Just so you know, but I do love Benzema to score. I think he's the best player in the world right now. He's going to be the Ballon d'Or winner. So it's unbelievable. When you start to look at this game here, this Villarreal and Liverpool game, I think let me just pull some of these other odds up very quickly. I think some people are starting to be a little bit scared off by the game because Liverpool doesn't have to win. The first game wasn't fantastic. Liverpool just has to not lose by 2 goals. Obviously Jurgen Klopp is not going to go into this game trying to lose by 1 goal. He's going to try to win the game. If it gets to a certain point, I think, maybe they shut it down. If it's 1-1 in the 75th minute, I think they shut it down. Probably just play for the draw. I think it's important for Liverpool to score first tomorrow. I think that is very important. I do think they will score first. When you look at the total goals, right now, man, over 2.5 is minus 157. So that's kind of a little bit contrary to what maybe happened the first game. I think they expect Liverpool to really come out and dominate. I remember a tie like this. Manchester United did that the first game. They played Schalke. It's 2011, so long ago. Just 2-0. Neuer played out of his mind, and then they dominated the second leg 4-1. You can get Liverpool minus 0.75 on the Asian handicap, right around minus 115. I would wait to see the lineups. But look, Liverpool's going to put a strong lineup up. So no matter who plays up front, and you know who's going to play in the midfield, Henderson and everybody, and you know who's going to play in defense. So for me, I think Liverpool wins. I think they're the best team in the world right now. It pains me to say it once again, but I think of the two Champions League ties, I think this is the one that is clearly the easiest to predict which team is going to go through. It's going to be Liverpool. Liverpool is minus 10,000 to go through right now. Villarreal is plus 1,700. There's no point to bet on that. You can't really bet double chance on Liverpool. It's minus 500. The only way you could really make any money on this is if Liverpool wins by a couple goals and you bet the Asian handicap, or if you bet Villarreal and they win 1-0 or something like that. But I just don't see it, to be honest. So that's that. Let me just go back a little bit to the weekend real quickly. Some of these games, Manchester City obviously was the one. Remember, I liked Burnley a little bit. Burnley has been playing really well. And, this goes to, they're at the bottom of the table, and this is going to go to the Nottingham Forest game, which I'm going to talk about in a second. You get these teams sometimes, and they just get on a roll. Leicester City comes to mind in 2015, the year before they won the title. They were at the bottom of the table. And then in like late March, early April, they just went crazy and just started winning it and just about survived. And then next year they won the title. I'm not saying Burnley's going to win the title, but what I'm saying, you get these teams, they just get momentum. You don't know why. Once they get on some momentum, once they get some momentum behind them and they start playing well, that's why the eye test is as important to me as the stats are. The stats, back up stuff over a course of a long period, over a course of 2 months, whatever. But you got to see the eye test too. You got to see what teams are playing well. Palace, Southampton, that was a, back and forth, kind of laid off that game. I was a little bit surprised that Wolves have capitulated the way they have. They had a chance to make Europe. They're out of it now. No chance. Brighton, big win. Brighton's probably going to end the season on a pretty good run here and, give them some momentum. But, they're a mid-table team all the time. Arsenal played well. I thought Arsenal had a chance to win that game. We talked about Spurs against Leicester. Leicester had no chance in that game. I was just, the Everton-Chelsea game was a little bit surprising to me. Spurs easy over Leicester. Leicester's worried about, the Conference League. So we had that dead on. Had the Arsenal game dead on. Burnley game, the City game dead on. Obviously Real Madrid, that was probably my favorite play of the weekend. That game wasn't even close. Once I saw they were playing their players, it was kind of easy. Michael says, how popular do you think worldwide and domestically the MLS can become? You think MLS would explore relegation and promotion with the USL ever? The problem with the relegation and promotion is that the MLS teams pay so much money to be in the MLS. And these other teams don't pay that much money. So until, if you said if there has to be something done where the USL teams are going to have to put money up to get into this pyramid, as it is, in England, because the MLS franchises are hundreds of millions of dollars, and these other things aren't. So until that happens, I don't see it. But at some point, look, the MLS can't go to 40 teams. The US is so big. They're at 29 now. It's going to be 32 in a couple years. I do the stuff for one of the MLS Next Pro teams. I write some of the stuff on their website. Jamie Vardy is involved in that, and that team is obviously targeting an MLS place. So at some point, there's going to be 40 teams, but I just don't see how you can have. There has to be some kind of system in place at some point. Michael, I do think some point it will happen. I just don't know how they're going to do it. Worldwide, look, I mean, just from going over to England a lot, a lot of the people there are really, they ask me all the time, about the MLS. Most of those people have their MLS team. Obviously, I follow a lot of United fans. But on my Twitter page, I have a lot of people, a lot of different fans of different teams. So they have their own, I think it's getting bigger. I think a lot of that has come down to the standard of play. I wrote a story maybe 5 or 6 years ago about, I asked a guy I went to school with, Emmett Austin, who now owns a bunch of hotels and whatever. Back then, he was he played at Columbia University where I went, and then he played over for West Ham and a couple teams before he started, going over. He got hurt and started playing over playing overseas and came back. But I asked him what the level was compared to, and he kind of compared it to like the Conference League in England, which is below League Two, and people went nuts. They were just absolutely they were killing the whole story. But I mean, it might have been true at the time. I think now it's comparative to maybe like closer to League One championship level. English Championship is really competitive. Probably the most competitive league in the world, I would say, top to bottom. Everybody's pretty good. But it's pretty interesting. Ronaldo. But I think that it's becoming more popular because it's been getting better with the infusion of the players from Central America, South America. So USSF headquarters leaving Chicago for Southeast US. Yeah, look, everybody's going to the Southeast, Florida, and we're losing people left and right here. Moving down to the Charlotte area in Florida, and Southeast is kind of gaining population every year compared to some of these other places in America. So somebody just scored. Oh, it's Ronaldo. Let's go. Should have a hat trick today. I didn't love this game, to be honest. I'll let you see it there. I didn't love this game. Goal. Let's go. I get the updates. I have Fubo TV, so it's a little bit behind. So I get the updates whenever we score. It's a little bit anticlimactic, but I just want to know my team wins, so it's whatever. But yeah, so I didn't really love this game because United hasn't been playing well. They're playing unbelievably today. They're playing out of their minds. It should be 3 or 4-0. So it's just, well, once again, it's hard to know what these teams are going to do. Like Brentford has nothing to play for, so it's just kind of hard to know what teams are going to do here. So let me go to our next game. Oh, okay. So I want to go to the these are the updated futures odds. I know we went over this last week. Right now, Champions League, Liverpool's plus 100, basically into the final. City's still plus 115. Here's the thing to me when I look at this: Real Madrid plus 1,000. They're in this tie. It's 4-3, and they're going back to the Bernabeu. If I'm looking at this, obviously plus 100, plus 115. Liverpool and Manchester City are the two best teams, and probably be in the final. But could Real Madrid overturn Manchester City? Yeah, I mean, I don't know that plus 1,000 is maybe David Alba's not playing, maybe that's why. But, who knows? I would take a chance on Real Madrid at plus 1,000. I already have futures on Manchester City from earlier in the season, plus 380 or something like this. Plus, yeah, look, Foxy, I think we talked about that. They just, I just, to me, that game tomorrow, I think they win it. I think it's an easy 2-0 win again. I think they win pretty easily, pretty comfortably. And even if they give up a goal early, they're going to score. So that team can't really be shut down. The Europa League futures are pretty interesting. RB Leipzig minus 143, obviously, because they have 1 foot in the final already. These are the wrong. I flip-flopped West Ham and Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt is plus 250. West Ham is plus 500. So plus 500 for me on West Ham, only down 2-1. I mean, they're pretty good. I might take a shot on them. But, right now it's looking like an all-German final. But I would take a chance on West Ham at plus 500. And then the Conference League futures, that to me is very interesting. Remember, Marseille was first last week. Now they're last, and they tied 2-2. So they're in the tie. Both ties are even. Leicester City plus 260, Roma plus 200. I guess they're thinking the winner of that is the favorite in the final. But Roma obviously going home. There's value there. You can make some money if you pick the right team. The tough part is picking the right team, though. Correct? All right. Here we go. England Championship Tuesday. Yeah, West Ham and Leicester did let me down last week. I don't think, Foxy, if I don't know if you're here for the beginning of the show, last week was okay until the Friday show, and then Saturday was everything hit, like Austin FC and Spurs and Arsenal and Burnley, and I hit like 3 or 4 parlays, and everything kind of came out. So it's always good. I mean, I think it goes to the fact too, that when you're trying, this is kind of a good lesson. If you see today, I haven't picked a lot of games. I'm going to list the South American games. It's hard to, if you're, what's the word I'm looking for? If you are forcing the action, if you have to search and find this stuff, and you're like, man, I don't know. Like I bet a couple of the games this morning in Serbia and whatever minus. I think I did a parlay with like a couple minus 350 teams. But in the afternoon here, when you look at the calendar tomorrow, you got the Champions League game. You got this game. It's at 2:00, by the way, not 2:45. You got Partick Thistle, Inverness County. I mean, there's not a lot of games, although I will pick a game tomorrow. I'll give you a game in Australia that I like. But if you're trying to force the action, which sometimes I think last week, it's my first week on the show. I'm trying to pick a lot of games and trying to showcase my big brain and show, whatever. you got to try to, you have to just try to figure out, like, look, this is what I'm good at. These are the games I watch all the time. I watch the Premier League. I watch the Champions League. I watch the English, championship. I follow the Dutch league because I've been over there and been to some games, and, the Ligue 1 because I like watching that. I coached the team here that had a bunch of Liberian kids from West Africa. So, I like the Ligue 1 because there's a lot of there's a lot of players from West Africa, Senegal, and some of the Francophone countries. So I like the league. And there's some goals, and it's pretty fun, and it's always on at night here, and being sport, they always show the extra game. So, but this game tomorrow, I do like. And here's the scenario. You see the lines. AFC Bournemouth plus 130, Nottingham Forest plus 245, draw plus 230. It's at 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus. If Bournemouth wins, they go up. The Cherries are back in the Premier League as runners-up. Fulham clinched the league today. They're celebrating. They did a pitch invasion. Fulham had already been up, but they won the league today. So Bournemouth wins, it's in. Goes up to the league. If Nottingham Forest wins, it moves clear of Bournemouth on goal difference with a win Saturday over Hull City, clinching first season in Premier League in 23 seasons. Forest, 7 wins in 8 league matches. They started the season with 1 win and 7. And Bournemouth, 4 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss, 13 points. Beat Forest 2-1 in August. So, this is for Bill. I don't love Bournemouth tomorrow. I like Nottingham Forest in that game. I just think when you go back and you look at Nottingham Forest, 7 wins in 8 matches after they started the season with 1 win and 7, and the way that Bournemouth is playing, I want to take a shot on Nottingham Forest, right? There's a couple different ways you could bet this. If you think there's going to be goals here, you could go over 2.5 goals at plus 108. You could have Forest over 1.5 goals at plus 195. If you think Nottingham Forest is going to win and both teams are going to score, you can get plus 510 odds. Now, I will say this. If you like Bournemouth in this game, and you say, I'll give you some odds right here. If you like Bournemouth and both teams to score, you can get plus 385. If plus 390 now. If you think it's going to be a draw on both teams to score, you can get plus 350. There's going to be some different ways you can find some money here. I like Forest. I think they're the best team in the league right now. I think they're on fire. James Garner, I watched a lot of their games. Cooper's been an unbelievable job here. The only thing I say is all this momentum. Bournemouth has been, we talked about it last week. They haven't played well. They drew last week. They're down 3-0, and they came back and got a 3-3 draw, which actually could end up being big for them. Or you could do both teams to score at minus 124. That's the other bet there. But Bournemouth knows all they got to do is win. They don't even have to win. They just have to draw, to be honest, because then they'll stay 3 points clear, and then they just have to go and better the result of, they have to play Millwall on Saturday while Nottingham Forest has to go to Hull. So they basically 2 out of the 3 results will lead to them winning. But when you watch that Nottingham Forest take apart Swansea the other day, 5-1, that was one of the games, Saturday as well. I love Nottingham Forest in that game. That Middlesbrough game that we gave you, wasn't sure about, minus 120. They won 3-0. I just think that Forest is the better team right now, and I just think all these draws and drop points are going to hurt Bournemouth. Could I see Bournemouth winning? Yeah, look, they're a good team. They've been good all year. Over the course of the season, obviously, Bournemouth's been the better team because they have 3 more points. Nottingham Forest wasn't very good at the beginning of the season. Let's see here. Get this for you. Oh man. All right. Another goal for you. Rafa, Varane. Murder on the dance floor. And the Reds are in the mood. Well, this game, once again, 3-0. If I would have known they were playing like this all game, I would have told you to bet the house on them. But they're so all over the place. They drive me nuts. So I think Nottingham Forest in that game. But, look, Michael, if double chance Forest and draw minus 167, yeah, Jim Bob, I think so. That's probably a better bet. Minus 167, maybe if you parlay it with Liverpool or something, or you parlay it with one of the other plays, I think is pretty good. I don't think Forest loses the game. Double chance would be probably the safer play. It's been 20. Nottingham Forest has been in the championship for 23 years, and I can't. If you're a fan of the game, if Nottingham Forest is a massive club. Nottingham Forest has 2 more European Cups. It's called the Champions League now, right? They have 2 more European Cups than Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham, and the rest of the league bar Aston Villa has 1. Aston Villa, United, Liverpool, Chelsea combined. I mean, they won back-to-back European Cups in 79, 80. They're the best team on the planet. They're just a massive club. And they just, they've been in the champ. They've had some near misses. And this is the closest they've been. And it's a big team. They really, really need to come back. It would be really cool if they came back in. But that's not, sentiment and all this stuff doesn't matter. You got to do it on the pitch. And tomorrow is, so I think Brentford will score. Let's see. I don't know. Juan Mata's going off. Maybe. It's supposed to be a walkout in the 73rd minute. I don't know if everybody walked out. Now that it's 3-0, maybe everybody didn't walk out. The Manchester United is always good for a goal allowed. Their defense is comical at times. This game has been, but they put a clinic on today. I'm actually stunned at how well they played. I mean, really should be like 4 or 5-0. But Brentford is they just haven't showed up. United had like 73% possession in the first half, something like that. But Juan Mata played, and he made the big difference. He should have been playing this whole time, I guess. I don't know. The over 2.5 was a good bet. So that's what I think about Forest. I just think they're a better team. So here's the Copa Libertadores. This is the whole slate for tomorrow. And I know Foxy can probably help us out here with some of this stuff. I just put all the odds up. We can go down the list here. I'll get the standings up for you. So Caracas FC plus 230, Libertad Asuncion plus 120, draw 215. You see these odds are pretty low, especially for the draw. And all of them, a lot of low scoring games in these, right? Here's the standings. So Deportivo Táchira plus 195, Emelec plus 135, draw plus 220. So for the first game is Group B. Right now, Libertad Asuncion is leading the group, 2 wins and a draw, 7 points. And they drew last time against Caracas. Caracas has only 2 points, so it's a big game for them. Libertad can probably lock up advancement with a win here. So that's Group B. Let me see where. Group A is Deportiva Táchira has 4 points, and Emelec has 2 points. So Táchira at home. The strongest I don't even see their group. Oh, they're there. Group B, they're in last place. They have 2 points, 2 draws against Atletico Paranaense. So 4 points. You see the strongest at home, minus 106. At America FC against Atletico Mineiro. I think Mineiro is right now on 5 points. America MG only has 1 point. America Mineiro playing Atletico Mineiro in the league 3 days later also. So, yeah, that could be a big game. Petrolero against Palmeiras. I know Palmeiras is 9 points, 3 wins, 15 goals for, 2 goals against, plus 13 goal difference after one game, and that's why you see Independiente -8 here. I mean, minus 278 on the road. Foxy, I mean, you could probably say a little bit more about this, but Palmeiras probably is definitely the play here. Maybe in a money line with one of these other games. Maybe with Nottingham Forest and draw. And then Estudiantes La Plata against NAC de Montevideo plus Nacional de Montevideo. So Nacional has 4 points. Estudiantes was 7 points. So in the thing. So Estudiantes right now probably minus 125 at home. Probably a decent play there at minus 125. I think if you between those games, maybe Mineiro on the road, Palmeiras on the road, La Plata at home, or maybe Palmeiras and Estudiantes La Plata. You get a decent parlay from that. That could actually be pretty interesting. Yeah, right. Copa Sudamericana, same thing, 5 games, 6:15 and 8:30, by the way. Let me just go back and show you that. First 3 games are at 6:15 tomorrow. Next 3 games are at 8:30. Now, tomorrow overnight, it's Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I don't even know what time it is. It's 5:30 in the morning or something in Australia. So we'll go over those tomorrow, but there's a pretty good games. Yeah, Palmeiras beat Petrolero 8-1. Yeah, Kaepernick had a big game. That they Austin FC, big bet right there. If you were with us on Friday, Kaepernick came on, had a big weekend, and everyone watching had a big weekend. So that was good if you followed that. Jim Bob, I have a parlay with Real Madrid and Man City over 4.5 cards and Liverpool team total over 1.5 goals. I think that's a pretty good bet. I think that Real Madrid-Manchester City tie is going to be really, really good. Maybe we'll have a watch along during that game. Maybe I'll put it. See if maybe we'll put it in the top corner of the screen here, and you can watch along during the game. So once again, Palmeiras beat Petrolera 8-1 on match day 2. It's probably not going to be 8-1 here on the road, but who knows? Maybe it will be. Sometimes you get the smaller teams from the smaller countries against those, pretty good teams from Brazil and Argentina, and the games are a little bit ugly. You see here, the odds are a little bit, other than the Sierra game. The River Plate from Uruguay, plus 115 against FBC Melgar. Let me get these standings for you right now. Standings. All right. So Melgar right now is in first, 6 points. They lost their last game. River Plate is on 3 points. They lost their last 2 games. So that's an interesting game right there. See what it was the first time. Melgar won 2-0 the first time the two teams played. Quaba MT versus Racing Club. Racing Club right now is on 6 points as well. Quaba's on 3 points. So both Group B matches right there at 6:15. Pretty interesting games, I think. Racing Club won 2-0 as well the first time out. So get a little bit of decent value there, plus 150 if you think they can kind of come out and do the same thing. 9 October, 1 point, plus 235. Independiente Medellin has 4 points. I think it was a 1-0 game last time out. It was 2-1. I knew it was a close game. So you got Independiente Medellin at plus 128. Might be worth a little play right there. The Sierra, 3-0 in their group. And Aguera, 1 win, and we'll see. 1 point, sorry. It was 2-0 Sierra the last time they played. And Sierra's on the road. So, that's why I think you see a minus 625. Not touching minus 625 at all. Maybe, take minus 1.5, but you're probably going to have to lay pretty good odds there. And then Avellaneda. See where those odds are. See, Avellaneda is minus 130. Might be pretty good odds right there. Maybe take a shot on that. But there's a lot of these games. I wish I had a pointer here, to be honest. These tough games. I know sometimes people want to kind of bet them. The plus 150s and the plus 128s. I don't mind the plus 128 on the road. Foxy, our South American football expert, says Quaba and Racing, both teams to score. See if I can get you the odds on that. He likes Independiente beat General Caballero. Sierra will win comfortably. 9 de October versus Medellin. Difficult one, probably a draw. I don't know. Let's see what Cueva and Racing, both teams to score. Hey, listen, that Cueva Racing Club, both teams to score, that Foxy just gave over here in the comments is plus 105. It's pretty good odds right there. So maybe that's a play. I know Foxy's been pretty good. Let's go back. I think he hit 3 parlays on the weekend. Cashed in 2 before the last game, and the team came back and drew. That's if you're not taking advantage of the cash out in some of these games, you're missing out because sometimes I'll get to the point where it's like a $20 difference. The parlay is $220, or you get $220 back, and it's at like $190. And you cash out, and you don't have to worry about like the last 20 minutes of them scoring. I mean, I think a lot of that has to do too is like if I'm watching a game, like if I'm watching this United game here and it's like really dodgy 2-1 and they're just chance after chance aren't going in, sometimes I'll just cash out. I'll just wait, cash out as it's going up. I think you have to be able to. It's a little bit of a skill. I think it's more of a feel thing too, but. When you have these parlays and it's plus 400 $400 parlay or something like this, and they're offering you $340 on a $25 or $30 bet or a $40 bet, and you can take that cash in hand. Maybe, you're leaving $60 on the table, but, you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes you could take that and reinvest it in something else quicker, or, I just know sometimes when a team gives up a late goal and I lose a parlay, I'm just sick to my stomach. It just makes me so mad. So it's not even mad. It's more like I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't cash out. All right. So those are the games in South America. There's not a lot of other games, to be honest. I mean, when you look at the schedule, there's some games in Finland and Japan. I don't know enough about the Japan League, to be honest. I know I will watch some of the Australia League sometimes because in the morning I'll get up and watch Fox Soccer Plus. I don't love. Sometimes I'll bet team like if I'm not watching the game, like today, the Serbian League game. But I know the teams a little bit from the Europa League or the Europa Conference League, so I'm confident that they could go and win against teams from that league that I know, because I know the level of them playing against these other teams. And then if they're in the Europa League, they finish second or third in their league, and these other teams are 8th, 12th, it's not as good. So, you take a chance on a team like that, but, I think it's definitely worth doing. All right. Other than that, I think not a lot going on tomorrow, the big Champions League game. So we'll just kind of recap here. I like Liverpool here, maybe 0.75. Maybe in a parlay. If I had to take a chance now in these futures, I might put a little money on Real Madrid right now. I wouldn't put a lot. I would put maybe like $20, but $20 will give you 200 at that point. So I already have Manchester City, and I'm not betting Liverpool. I don't think they're going to win it. That's just me. Here, these odds, remember, are switched. Maybe throw a little money on West Ham at plus 500. This Conference League, I don't know. I still think Marseille is the best team in it, but it's wide open. I probably wouldn't even bet that. On the Bournemouth game, Atalanta are bad. Yeah, you know what? Are they playing? Yeah, they don't have anything to play for at this point. They give up these goals. They scored in the 88th minute to draw, but they're in 8th place right now, and they're going to be out of Europe, and that project is all that the project peaked in 2020 during the pandemic. They were in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they overstretched a little bit, and they got in. They didn't make it. They went to the Europa League, and now they got knocked out. Now they're not going to be in Europe, and I think now some of those teams might have he might have to sell. Gasparini might leave. They're going to sell some players if they have any value at this point. Like, I'll take Demirel if we could get him. I think he's a good player, but yeah, they're not very good. They haven't been good this year. They draw too many games. That's a problem, I think, with a lot of these teams. I like Forest in this game, but as I think Michael, who said that? Jim Bob said maybe Forest, double chance, draw and win, minus 167, maybe with Liverpool, maybe with one of those games from maybe with Palmeiras right there. Palmeiras won 8-1 again last time, so maybe minus 278 and minus 167. You get a little bit of decent value with that. And then some of these games, these games are tough to pick. So I think for Wednesday, there's a little bit more. There's a little more games on the slate. There's an MLS game. I like the A-League game. There's the CONCACAF Champions League final, which is interesting. There's a lot of Copa Libertadores games. But, once again, Thursday's a big day with the Conference League and the Europa League. Friday's a little bit slow, and then the weekend. So maybe the weekend will be another big show. Yeah, Jim Bob, They run it. This team has run its course. They got to sell. The key now for Atalanta is, sell now. Don't wait. They probably should have sold last year. Get some value. Big win for United. So no, they did. It's 3-0 final. Sell now and rebuild. Get some young players in, and redevelop in that league, because that league right now is pretty tough. AC Milan, Inter, obviously. Silva, which games you gonna pick? Sean Miller, which games you gonna pick? Silva, I like Liverpool. I like Nottingham Forest plus 205. But, if you could make a case, like Jim Bob said, you could bet both teams to score. I like, I would take a chance tomorrow with Nottingham Forest to win and both teams to score. Yes, at plus 510. Nottingham Forest gives up goals, but they score a lot of goals. Jim Bob, yes. When it's Benzema, I'll pick Benzema to score. Ronaldo, it just depends on the odds. I mean, the Ronaldo to score. Sometimes Benzema to score isn't in the league games, it's tough. But he's just, when you get these guys scoring all the time and they're on fire, ride with them. But yeah, I do like the player props. I like some of the player props, and to be honest, in the NFL, I think it's easier to kind of bet on the player props sometimes than the games. I do the same thing in the NFL. Like, I just bet heavy favorites, on the money line, maybe put 3 together and see what happens here. And I have to tell these guys to stop WhatsApping me during the show. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of different ways to make money. The other thing, I'm going to put these banners up quickly here for Caesars. 1100 first bet promotion. Use that promo code and get it back in the form of a free bet if you lose. When you go to see these certain books, Fox Bet or DraftKings or the different ones have different bet boosts, and I kind of bounce around sometimes. FanDuel and DraftKings are really good at it, and so is Fox Bet. But these things come out a lot. Like, they bet boost. Hey, we're gonna give you this stuff. I don't know. All right. Sometimes, like, it's just like suckers bet to try to get your money. But these things come out all the time. I've made a lot of money betting those. And sometimes I don't even, like, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's like NBA or something. They're like, oh, this guy I don't even watch the game. I don't know. I'll put it in or something like that. And a lot of times it comes out pretty good during football season. So remember to like and to subscribe and ring the bell. We got all these other shows on. I know some of you are over in those other shows. Max Wagers Network shows, Midday Money, Sean Higgs. Follow him on Twitter. He's got so many different parlays going up there every day, and prop bets. Morning Wood, Ali Burns, Just Parlays with Chris King. If you like parlays, I'm a big parlay guy. I got to start betting straight bets more instead of always going to parlays for the soccer. Back to the window. Scott and Scott, me, Game Time Decisions, and this Kentucky Derby betting guide worth $39.99 is yours free. Get the inside track on the Kentucky Derby prepared by Racing Dudes. The full guide will be available on or before May 5th. And I want to just say something about that. We're going to have a show here. If you're a horse racing fan, I will be hosting a show with my man James from Betting Gods on Friday nights. It's going to be Friday nights at 9 o'clock, I believe. But this Friday, obviously, Kentucky Derby and all the races. So if you're into horse racing, please show up at 9 o'clock on Friday night because we're going to be doing this guy. James is unbelievable, man. All he does is pick winners. Yeah, they do have great betting sites. And we're also going to have a Formula One show on Friday as well. I'm not sure about the time. I'll get back to you about that tomorrow or Wednesday. So we're going to have a Formula One and auto racing kind of show. Maybe we'll pick some of the NASCAR races as well. Probably might not be an hour-long show, but the race is in Miami this weekend. So we got to kind of next year there'll be 3 races in America, and that's crazy. Miami, Texas, Austin, and Las Vegas. So we're going to have a lot of different stuff for you. But if you're a big horse racing fan, make sure you tune in. This guy picks winners. It's all he does. And he doesn't pick – anybody can pick 3 to 5 horses to go out. This guy picks 6 to 1, 8 to 1 horses. He picks bombs, and he gets you some money. So make sure you're paying attention. All right, so that's the show for today. We will be back tomorrow, or I will be back tomorrow. Remember, on Friday, we're going to have Kaepernick on with MLS. We're going to have one day this week, I'm going to have a guest on, another writer here who picks some games. So we'll see how that goes. But so stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow.